Hey everyone, so in the interest of time, we will start. I'm sharing my screen, so already 20 minutes delay. We will not take too much of time. So today, what we will see about procedure. So we have already seen what is procedure. So in SAS, there are two types of SAS code. One is data step that will start with the keyword data. Another is for proc. Other set of codes start with the letter proc. So data step generally used for creating a program. It is used for creating a data set. If you want to modify the data set, then you will use a data step. Proc, if you want to do any analysis or any procedure, you will use the keyword proc. Okay. So first we will start with the very simple procedure called proc print. Okay. Proc print means you are going to print the data in the output screen. You are going to simply print the data in the output tab. Okay, it is simply printing the data in output screen. Okay, so we are creating a clinical trial data set. In input statement, we need to give all the column ID, patient ID, age, sex, treatment, what is the treatment the patient has taken, weight, systolic blood pressure, diastolic blood pressure. So we have the data for 5 patients. Okay. And I'm going to store it in the data set name called clinical demo. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to print this data in the result tab. So there is one tab called result tab. What we are going to do is we are going to print the data in the result tab. So for that, what we have to do is we have to use the procedure name called print. So first use the keyword prop and then print and data equal to what is the data set we have created. We have used the data set name for clinical demo. So whatever you have created, give after data equal to the data set name. Okay, and then you can simply run the code. Okay, so it will simply print the data in the result tab. Okay, so in our data set, we have 6 variables. One is patient ID, 7 variables. Patient ID, age, sex, treatment, weight, STP, DBT. So if I want to print only selected variables, then what I can do is so use that statement after proc print, whatever variable you want, just type it here without comma. Okay. So if you want to display only age and sex, so whatever variable you are given in a var statement, only it will be displayed in the result tab. Okay. So maybe I want to display a patient ID also. Okay. So in whatever you are giving in whatever column you are giving in the var statement, it will display only that particular column in the result tab. So in result tab, you will see there is one observation called OBS. So this is called observation, observation one, observation two, observation three, observation four, observation five. So this is something like a ID variable. So by default, SAS will create this variable, but you don't want to display this observation number. Then what you can do is give one statement called ID, and in that you give patient ID. Okay. So SAS will not create one ID variable separately like OBS. Okay. So if you give an ID statement, if you give patient ID, SAS will not create this OBS. Instead of that, it will consider ID, patient ID as a observation. So so if you use ID variable, whatever you have given an ID variable, it will take it as the first one, and it will be act like an index variable. Okay. If you don't give ID variable, it will create the observation one, two, three, four, five like this. Okay. So there is one more thing. Okay. So we have a data. I want to display only the patient ID who is greater than 50 years old. Okay. So patient ID 2, age is 50. Patient ID 4, age is 60. Patient ID 5, age is 55. Okay. I want to display only if age is greater than equal to 50. Okay. Then what I can do is I can simply write the var condition. It is similar to if var age equal to greater than equal to 50. Okay. If you give this condition, then SAS will display only the patient ID where age is greater than 50. Okay. So you can give var age greater than or equal to 50. So using this, you can filter down the data. Okay, using var. Similarly, if you want to display only the female patients, you can put you can use var sex equal to female. Then it will display only the female patient IDs, female patient subjects. Okay. So using var, you can filter down the data. Okay. And there is one more thing called label. Okay. So using this label, what you can do is you can rename the variable. Okay. So in our data, there is something called SBB, DBB. If someone see this data set, they will not understand what is SBB and what is BBB. Maybe medical person will understand, but if there is some layman, if they see this data set, they won't understand what is this SBP, BPP, right? So we want to rename that variable. So what we can do is we can use something called label. Sorry. Okay, so we can use the statement for label, and then we can, whatever name you want to change, SBB equal to systolic. So it will label the name. Okay, similarly, DBB, wait, this is also we are. Okay, so it will not change the variable name, but if you click the variable name here, it will show what is the label for it. Okay, so in left side, if you click what is SBB, it will tell the label name. Okay, similarly, if you click BBB, it will tell what is the label. Okay. Similarly, if you click weight, it will show what is the label. So we are creating a label for the variable. Okay. So even outsiders, if they click this variable, and they will know what is the label for it. I will let you know how to rename the variable also. Okay. So in our data set, there is something called some numerical variable is there, right? Weight, systolic blood pressure. I want to know what is the total of systolic blood pressure and I want to know what is the total of weight. Then I can use the statement called sum. Okay, sum of weight SBB, what it will do is it will calculate the total for weight and systolic blood pressure. Okay. Similarly, if you add the systolic blood pressure also, you can add it here. How many variables you want, you can add it here. Okay. So using sum, you can using a sum statement, you can create a total for variables. Okay. Numerical variables. And there is something called in after proc print data equal to clinical. What you can do is you can open the bracket and then if you give OBS equal to 1, it will display only first observation. Okay. If you give 3, it will display first 3 observations. So in SAS, if you give after semicolon, if you use anything. Okay, so run in SAS run, we will call it as one statement, proc as one statement. But inside something we are giving like this, we will call it as an option. Okay, so there are so many options like that. One option is observation. And similarly, there are so many options. Okay, if you after data set name, if you click space button, it will tell what are all the options available. Okay, you can give grand total, you can give number of observation here also. So if okay, so there are label also you can give it here. So many options are there, split style and all that. So there are so many. After key in the statement, you can give lot of options. Okay. So in program, if anything start with the proc data run, we will call it as a statement. Inside statement, we can give so many options, okay, like number of observations. Sorry, it is observations. Okay. Okay. So we have to give inside the bracket observation equal to 3. Okay. So after data set, open the bracket and then you can give observation equal to 3. Similarly, you can use the label statement also here. Okay. Uh, so here there is one example. We are using var statement and we are using a label and then we are using some condition to filter down the data and we are creating a total for weight. Okay, title you don't need to learn. Okay, if you want to create footnote, you can use the statement called footnote and inside whatever you put here, it will show footnote. So whatever you are using in footnote, it will display it here, and we are using a sum statement also. Okay. So this is about one prop print. So whatever data you are giving here, it will display it in the result tab. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Tell me.
Sir, what about noobs and split?
Okay. So what are all the options you are asking? Split. Okay. And another one, what you have asked?
Noobs or something. NOBS.
Okay, okay. So when you are using no apps, okay, I will tell you. So in SAS, what you can do is after giving the data set, click a blank space button. After that, it will tell what are all the what are all the options available. Okay. So if you want to see what is no OBS, you can type N OBS, and then it will tell what is the no OBS means. Okay. It is also similarly to the OBS. It will suppress the observation number in the output. Okay. That means if you give no OBS, then that observation ID won't be available. Okay. Okay. Suppose if I don't give no OBS, then there will be a first column observation. Okay, observation number 2, observation number 3, observation 5. If you don't want to display this column, then what you can give is you can give no observation. Okay, so, so this option will eradicate that column OBS column. Okay, you have asked another thing called split. Okay. Okay. So split we won't use much, but anyway, I will tell what it is. Okay. So here we are using a split. Okay. What it will do is, Okay. So what it will do is if you give split equal to some character, okay, I'm just giving A, okay, then what it will do is it will remove that character from the column names. Okay, uh, we don't use much in the clinical trial examples and all. But if you give A, so whenever the column starts with A, it will remove that. Okay. For example, if I give P, okay, it will remove that P from the column names. Okay. Sometimes the column name will be look like P001, P002. Another column will be like P003. If you don't want that P from column name, you can give split equal to P. Okay. Then it will remove whenever the column starts with P, it will remove that from the column name. Okay. Okay, so there are so many options like that. We have seen only three or four, five options, but we will see something. Of, okay, there is one observations rows. Okay, if I give rows equal to one, okay, okay, it is valid for listing destination. Okay, so there are so many options are there, but we will use only five to six options for clinical trial. Remaining and all, we don't use that much. Okay. This there are so many options are there in upcoming classes. We will see style and all, but it will be used in another procedure. Okay. So, but now for prop print, you remember why we are using var? Okay. In so many places, we will use this filters var. And then you remember about this var statement. And then ID also you can remember. And then observation. So if you give observation equal to 3, it will display only first three observation. And if you use no OBS, then it will not display this observation column. Okay. Label, you can create a description for the variables. Okay. Okay. So split, if you give this one, it won't have any much effect. Okay. Because no column starts with the star. But label, okay, so we are giving SBB. Uh, okay, so if you use label here, whatever name you have given here, it will display it in the result tab. Okay, if you remove the label here, it won't display systolic BP, it won't display diastolic BP. Okay. Simply you have to go to the result tab and then, okay. So you have to, okay, sorry. Okay. Okay. So initially when we see the label column here, okay, prompt print, uh, okay. So initially, when we see what we have to do is we have to click that variable systolic blood pressure, okay, and then it will display the column names, okay. Okay. We will see some more options also. We will see some options like okay. 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 Maybe another time we will see. Okay. We will see proc sort, another procedure. In clinical trial, what happens is sometime our data will not be in the ascending order or descending order. Okay. So if you see this data set, the first patient ID is fifth patient, second one is first patient, third patient is patient ID is four, fourth patient ID is 2, fifth patient ID is 3. Okay, now the data is not in ascending order or descending order. Okay, it is randomly arranged. Okay, so now I want to arrange this data either in ascending order or descending order, like patient ID 1, patient ID 2, patient ID 3. Then I can use the procedure name called proc sort. Okay. If we use proc sort, data equal to clinical demo, whatever we have created, and then we have to give by patient ID. Okay, what is the variable name you want to arrange? Okay, I want to arrange the column name by patient ID. Okay, if you give by systolic blood pressure, then the data will be arranged in the systolic blood pressure. First one will be 120 and then 130 like that. Okay, so now if you see 4, okay. Okay. So if you give, there is an option here, proc sort. After that, if you give, okay, if you give descending here, just a minute. Now, by default, data will be arranged as in a ascending order. Okay. So whatever variable you want to store, you want to arrange, you have to give that ID here in by statement. So in by statement, you have to give the variable you want to arrange. Okay. And then run statement. Okay. So I'm running once again. Okay, now the data is again in this, it's in a random order. So what I'm going to do is in by statement, I am giving the variable name. After that, I'm giving the key option called descending. Okay. So what it will do, it will arrange the data in a descending order. Just a minute, I'm checking what is this error. But we will come to this later. But by default, what it will do is if you don't give anything here, by default, it will take in a ascending order. Okay. So by patient ID, it will arrange the data in a ascending order. Okay. If you give systolic blood pressure, it will arrange the data in a systolic blood pressure. So systolic blood pressure, the data is arranged in the ascending order. Okay. Uh, we will come to descending order at a later stage. Okay. Um, now, if you want to store we have the data sorted, right? I want to store this sorted data. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one option called out. Okay, what it will do is what the sorted data can be stored here. I'm going to store a data set, okay, in the name of sort order. Okay, so we have sorted the data by systolic blood pressure, right? So this code will store this data in the sort order. Okay. So I can go to work library and check whether my data is stored. Okay. So my data is stored in the sort order. If you don't give this statement, your code, your output will not be stored. Okay. Now what I'm do this code will do is it will sort the data by age. So whoever is younger, they will come first. Okay, and then in the ascending order, the age will be arranged, and this will be stored in the name of sorted data. So our output will be stored in the name of sorted data. Okay. We are using a prop print. We have already seen this. Okay, sorry. So descending, we have to, before the variable we have to give, that's the reason it has shown error. So first give the by statement and then give descending. Then the data will be arranged from descending order. Okay. So first by and then what whether if you are using descending, you can use that. If you don't give by default, SAS will arrange the data in ascending order. Okay. If you want descending, you have to give after the by statement. Okay. So now what this code will do is it will descend the column age and it will store it in the name of sorted district. Okay. Similarly, what you can do is you can sort the data in three by multiple variables also. I first it will sort it in the order of treatment, and then it will sort it in order of sex, and then it will sort it in order of fields. Okay, you will see how it is there. Okay, so we have given three variables, right? Treatment, sex, age. So if you see treatment A, it is sorting in the order from smaller to larger. And then age also it is sorting 35. In A, first is 35 and then 55. Okay, and then okay, and then sex also. So we have two females in the treatment A and one male. Okay, so it is starting by treatment, sex, and age. Okay, and then in there are treatment two. There are two person is taking treatment B. In that, one female patient and one male patient. Okay, so one female patient age is 50 and another male patient is 60. Okay. So first it is sorting based on treatment A to B, and then it is sorting based on female and male, and then it is sorting based on the age. Okay. So first priority, it will sort based on treatment, and then sex, and then it is based on age. Okay. It will sort. So you can sort it by multiple variables here. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is sometime in your data there may be duplicate patient ID. Okay. Same patient ID will be repeated twice. We will see one example. So here, if you see, there are patient three, patient ID three. It is repeated twice. Okay, it may be data entry error or some other error, but the data is occurring twice in our table. Okay, patient ID three. It is occurring twice in our data set. Okay, so during sorting, what we can do is we can remove the duplicates. Okay, so you can give what is the column name you want to sort, and then if we give no duplicate key, then it will remove the duplicates. Okay. So see here, it is removing the duplicates from our data sets. So patient ID 3, it occurs twice. So by giving a no duplicate key, it will remove the duplicate subjects. Okay. So there is one option. What we can do is whatever out equal to we are giving, the sorted data will be stored in the sorted unique data set. If we give duplicate out, whatever duplicates here, it will store it in the data set called dupes found. Okay. So in a same code, we are storing output in a two data set. One is sorted data set. It is storing in the name of sorted unique, and duplicate observation will be stored under the dupes found. Okay. We will see this. Okay. I am going to my library. Okay. Uh, So we are saying duplicate, it will be stored in dupes found, right? So here if you see, there are two subjects which occurs twice, patient ID 1, patient ID 2. So, okay, another data set sorted in it. Okay, unique data set. So in a same code, you can store the original data set without duplicates, and another data set you can store for the duplicate data sets also. Okay. So here also we have one data set with four variables, patient ID 1. So patient ID is occurring twice. Patient ID 3 is occurring twice. Okay. So there are two duplicates. One is patient ID 1, another is patient ID 3. Okay. So there is one more option called no duplicate records. Okay. So what it will do is Okay. Okay. So what it will do is it will remove the duplicate records. Okay. I will tell what is the difference between no duplicate records and we have seen another option, right? No duplicate key. Okay. We will see what is the difference, but before that, we will see what is the output. Okay. We are storing the output in the name of no duplicate record demo. Okay, so if you see here in this data set, we have two duplicate rows. Okay, patient one and patient. Okay, so here if you see, patient three is not a duplicate because the final so one is patient three, it is male, and patient three, it is showing female. Okay, so SAS will consider this as a separate observation and this as another observation. Okay, so what SAS will do is because here the patient three is a male and here the patient three is a female. Okay. So what this no duplicate records will do, it will check the entire record. Okay. It will check the entire column and it will check whether patient three is unique or same. Okay. Suppose here also patient female, then this will consider as a duplicate. Okay. Since here in final row it is male, the no duplicate record will consider this observation as a separate observation. Okay. But here the no duplicate record, since both are same, SAS will consider as a separate observation. Okay. So this is no duplicate record. It will check the entire column. Okay. No, but if we use only no duplicate key, okay, what it will do, it will check only the patient ID column. Okay, it won't check entire column. It will check only the patient ID column. Okay. So here patient one is also removed, patient three that also removed. Okay. So no duplicate key if you are using, it will check only the one column. Okay, and see whether any duplicates are there. But if you are using no duplicate records, it will check the entire record. Okay, so it will check first column, second column, third column, and fourth column also. So that is the difference between no duplicate records and no duplicate things. Okay, so there is one option called sorted by. Okay, we will see what is this sorted by. By this by treatment, we are telling SAS that by treatment arrange the data. Okay. Okay. So if you use this code by treatment, it will sort the data. It will arrange the data in the ascending order. Okay, from A to B. Now there is one thing called started by. Okay. Okay, I think there is, they have removed it in the newer version, I guess, sorted by option. Okay. So generally what it will do is it will create one table like A. The first table is for A and second table is for B. Okay. So it will create like two tables. One is for table A and another is for B. Maybe in the newer version they have removed that option. Sorted. Okay, so here, if you are using no duplicate key, what it will do, it will check whether any duplicates are there. Okay, for the only this column. Okay, so whatever you are giving in the by statement, it will check the duplicates only in the by treatment column. Okay, but if you are giving no duplicate record, it will check for entire table. Okay, not only for in by statement, it will check for the entire record. Okay. And then there is something called tag sort. Okay, we will see what is tag sort means. Okay. Okay. So when you are using tag sort option, what it will do is whatever variable we are using in the statement, okay, by statement, it will sort using that, it will sort that variable and it will be stored as a temporary file. Okay. I will tell one example. Okay. Okay. So sometime what happens is you may here in our data we have only four observations or five subject ID. Okay. But in clinical trial there are sometimes there may be 1,000 patient or 5,000 patient or 10,000 patient subjects will be there. Okay. The data will be too large. Okay. So what we will the pharma company will do is they will use the option called tag sort. Okay. So what this option will do is this will store whatever you are using in the by variable and observation number. Okay. Okay. For example, here we are giving three variables, right? Treatment, sex, and age. And then what is the ID variable? So it will store only the by variable and the observation number. It won't store any other variable. So see here, it is storing only the by variable and then, okay, the observation number. Okay. So that is when you have a large data set like 1,000 patients or 10,000 patients, you can use this option called tag sort. Okay. So cross sort, if you want to arrange the data in ascending order or descending order, you can use the procedure called cross sort. If whatever you are giving in the by statement, it will arrange the data in ascending order. Okay. But after by, if you give descending, it will arrange the data in the descending order. Okay. And then there is one option called out. If we give out equal to some name, the output will be sorted data will be stored in the work library in the name of sorted description. Okay. If you don't give this out equal to your sorted data will not be stored. Okay. If you want to store the sorted data, then you have to give out equal to some name here. So your output will be stored in the name of sorted description. Okay. So in by statement, you can give multiple variables also. So here the first the data will be sorted by the name of treatment A to B, and then it will be sorted by female and male, and then it will be sorted by in the numbers of age. Okay. So first priority treatment, second sex, and then age. Okay. So you can give multiple variables here. And sometimes your data, if duplicates will be there. So if you use no duplicate key option, it will check only the column patient ID. So it will remove the duplicate, the patient one, and it will remove the duplicate patient three. So if you use no duplicate key, it will check only the first column. But if you give no duplicate record, it will check the entire record. Okay, because we have seen the patient type female, here if male is there initially. Okay. So in first one, the patient ID 3, she is a female, but here it looks like patient 3 is a male. Okay. So if you use no duplicate record, SAS will consider as a different observation. Okay. But if you use no duplicate key, SAS will consider patient one as a different duplicate, even patient three as a different, because it will check only the first column, patient ID, whatever you are giving in the by variable. Okay, and then we have seen, okay, sorted by it is not there. Then we have seen talks, tag sort, whatever you are giving in by statement, only that and observations will be there. Okay. So here you can use multiple options also. Okay. So still there are two more procedure is there, proc mean and proc week. Already I've sent one assignment for if condition and do loop. Try to complete it by next Friday. And then I will give assignment for proc print and sort. In next class, we will see what does proc means and what does proc read. Okay. So if your data is in a numerical, if your data is a numerical column like age, blood pressure, then you will use proc mean. If your data is a character variable, then we will use a procedure proc read. Okay. So I will give the assignment next week. So we will see in next class in another 2 or 3 classes. we will complete the basic SAS. Okay, in another 3 to 4 classes, we will complete the basic SAS, and then we will go for clinical SAS. If we are enrolled, we will be eligible to join that one, clinical SAS. Okay. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we will close the session for. Okay. Okay, then I will take it as no. If you have any questions, you can contact me in WhatsApp also. Thanks, everyone. We will see next week. Happy Deepavali to everyone. Thank you. Bye.